Imagine walking into a building so enormous that you could lose track of where the walls end and the rocket factory begins. Above you, massive cranes move through a steel framework. Around you, giant stainless steel rings rotate slowly while robotic arms weld them together with incredible precision. Somewhere nearby, workers are installing hundreds of heat shield tiles. In another section, an entirely different Starship is being assembled. And somewhere else, another rocket is already moving toward final integration. Now imagine that this isn't happening once a month or once a year, but over and over again across multiple production areas with one goal in mind: build enough rockets to make frequent spaceflight possible. This is SpaceX's Star Factory, and what makes this place extraordinary isn't simply its enormous size. The real story is the manufacturing philosophy behind it. SpaceX isn't trying to build one incredible rocket and then spend years preparing it for occasional launches. The ambition is much bigger. The idea is to create an industrial system capable of producing starships at a scale the space industry has never experienced before.
Think about what that means. For most of human history, rockets have been treated almost like custom-built machines. Every vehicle can require enormous amounts of labor, specialized components, testing, transportation, and careful assembly. But SpaceX wants to move towards something radically different. It wants Starship production to look less like building a one-of-a-kind spacecraft and more like operating a massive industrial factory. The numbers associated with the Star Factory are enormous, with the facility described as having the potential to support production on the order of hundreds of Starships per year. The idea is sometimes summarized as one rocket every day. But there's an important detail hidden inside that statement. SpaceX doesn't simply need one Starship, it needs a fleet. And the reason is simple. Starship isn't being designed for just one mission. It is intended to support satellite deployment, rapid launch operations, future lunar missions, large-scale cargo transportation, and eventually missions toward Mars. Some spacecraft could spend hours or days in space before returning. Others could be involved in complicated missions requiring multiple launches and refueling operations. That means the future SpaceX envisions isn't a world where one Starship launches and everyone waits weeks or months for the next one. It's a world where rockets are constantly moving through a cycle. Build one, test one, launch one, recover one, prepare another. And while one vehicle is flying, dozens more could be somewhere inside the manufacturing and testing system. That changes everything, because once you decide that rockets need to be produced at that scale, the factory itself becomes part of the spacecraft technology. And that is where the Star Factory becomes one of the most interesting pieces of the entire Starship program. So let's go inside this extraordinary manufacturing system and follow the journey of a Starship from raw metal to a vehicle that could eventually leave Earth. And the story begins with something surprisingly ordinary, a roll of stainless steel. At first glance, it doesn't look like the beginning of one of the most ambitious spacecraft ever conceived. There's no rocket engine, no dramatic flame, no towering vehicle, just metal. But this metal is about to become the body of a spacecraft designed to survive one of the harshest environments imaginable. Starship has to leave Earth under tremendous forces. It has to carry cryogenic propellants. It has to survive the vacuum of space. And when it comes back, it has to plunge through the atmosphere while dealing with intense aerodynamic and thermal conditions. That means the material has to do something unusual. It has to be strong enough to handle extreme mechanical loads, yet workable enough that enormous sheets can be shaped and welded into a precise vehicle. The stainless steel approach is one of the most visually distinctive aspects of Starship manufacturing. Instead of hiding the material beneath complicated layers of traditional aerospace structures, SpaceX builds much of the vehicle around a metallic skin that is both structural and highly visible during construction. The sheets are relatively thin compared with the enormous size of the finished spacecraft, yet when these sheets are transformed into giant cylindrical sections and joined together, they become the backbone of the vehicle. This is where the factory mentality becomes important. A rocket several stories tall cannot simply be constructed from the top down like a giant sculpture. The manufacturing process has to be divided into manageable sections, and that's exactly what happens. Automated equipment takes the raw stainless steel material and begins forming it into circular rings. These rings are the basic building blocks of the Starship structure. Imagine taking a flat sheet of metal and transforming it into a huge circle several meters across. Now imagine doing that repeatedly, with every ring needing to fit the larger vehicle precisely. The process isn't about making one ring, it's about making many. And then those rings have to be joined. This is where automation becomes incredibly important. Instead of having workers manually perform every major weld around every enormous section, SpaceX has increasingly moved toward robotic welding systems for large structural operations. A robot can travel around a giant circular section, maintaining a consistent path and performing a weld with repeatable movement. For mass production, repeatability matters. If you're building one experimental vehicle, you can tolerate a process becomes incredibly important. Instead of having workers manually perform every major weld around every enormous section, SpaceX has increasingly moved toward robotic welding systems for large structural operations. A robot can travel around a giant circular section, maintaining a consistent path and performing a weld with repeatable movement. For mass production, repeatability matters. If you're building one experimental vehicle, you can tolerate a process that requires enormous amounts of manual attention. But if you want to produce hundreds of vehicles, every inefficient step becomes a problem. One slow process multiplied by hundreds of rockets can become thousands of hours. So SpaceX's approach is essentially to ask a simple question again and again. Can a machine do this faster, more consistently, or more efficiently? If the answer is yes, automation becomes attractive. But that doesn't mean humans disappear. Quite the opposite. People are still essential for operations requiring judgment, precision, adaptation, inspection, and complicated assembly. The factory isn't a place where robots simply build rockets without human involvement. Instead, it's a partnership. Machines handle repetitive, large-scale tasks, while people handle the work where flexibility matters most. And this distinction becomes even more obvious when the factory begins creating the curved sections of the spacecraft. The nose cone is one of the most recognizable parts of Starship. It's the pointed upper section that gives the vehicle its iconic silhouette. But producing a giant curved metal structure isn't as simple as bending a sheet over your knee. SpaceX uses forming processes capable of shaping stainless steel under enormous forces. One technique described in the source material involves hydroforming, where high-pressure fluid is used to push material into a desired shape. The pressure involved can reach tens of thousands of pounds per square inch. To put that into perspective, the pressure at the bottom of the ocean is already enormous. Now imagine a manufacturing system applying even greater pressure to reshape metal. The goal is not simply to make the metal look curved. The goal is to create a structure that fits into a spacecraft. Every part has a job, every curve matters, every connection has to work. And once the pieces have been formed, they return to the welding process. The nose cone begins to take shape. But this is where the Star Factory starts to reveal something unusual. The factory doesn't operate like the classic image most people have of a manufacturing line. You might imagine a giant conveyor belt carrying an unfinished rocket from Station 1 to Station 2, then Station 3, and finally toward a finished product at the end. That's not really how Starship production is organized. Instead, different sections can be manufactured in parallel. And this idea is incredibly important because a Starship isn't one object during most of its manufacturing journey. It's a collection of major sections being built at the same time. Think of it like constructing a giant puzzle, except each piece is itself a major engineering project. The upper section can be under construction while the middle section is being built. The lower section can be receiving different components while another team works on a separate subsystem. And smaller components can be produced simultaneously. Eventually, these parallel streams converge. This is what allows the factory to move toward high production rates. Instead of waiting for one complete spacecraft to finish before starting another, multiple vehicles can exist in different stages at the same time. One may be receiving structural work, another may be getting its thermal protection system, another may be undergoing final assembly, another may be preparing for testing, and another may already be waiting for launch. The factory becomes a constant flow of hardware.
This approach has parallels with modern automotive manufacturing. Elon Musk has experience with both rockets and cars, and SpaceX has explored manufacturing philosophies that emphasize parallel production and reducing unnecessary movement. Instead of forcing every component to travel down one central production line, different sections can be built simultaneously and brought together later. For a spacecraft as large as Starship, this makes practical sense because the vehicle is enormous. You don't want hundreds of workers constantly walking around a giant rocket trying to bring every tool and component to the same location. Instead, you bring the work to them. That's where the factory's overhead crane system becomes incredibly important. Look upward inside the enormous production space, and you can see an intricate framework of steel beams. At first, it might look like part of the building's structure, but much of this framework also supports a network of overhead cranes. These cranes can lift enormous rocket sections and transport them through the facility. This is one of the hidden technologies of rocket manufacturing. The rocket itself gets all the attention, but if you can't move the rocket, you can't build it. A Starship section can be massive, awkward, and difficult to transport with ordinary equipment, so the building has effectively become part of the production machine. The ceiling isn't simply a roof. The floor isn't simply a floor. The entire factory is designed around the movement of giant spacecraft components.